Hi, I'm Lily.
Hi, I'm Gianna.
Welcome to our podcast. Today we will talk about what makes Hamilton successful.
Son of a whore and a Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean, by providence impoverished and squalor. Grow up to be a hero and a scholar. The $10 founding father without a father got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being a self-starter. By 14, they placed him in charge of a trading charter.
Here is a song called Alexander Hamilton from one of the most popular musicals last year, the musical Hamilton. This musical has been the center of the topic last year. Gianna, do you know about this musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Wait, isn't it about one of the most famous founding fathers in the history, Alexander Hamilton? In addition, he is the first Secretary of Treasury of the U.S. and he also founded the first Bank of America. As far as I know, this musical is popular not only among domestic audience, but also among the international ones.
Yes, Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the book, the music, and lyrics for Hamilton. He won the Tony Award for Best Original Score and the Tony Award for Best Book of a Musical for this show. And Hamilton received a record-setting 16 Tony nominations, winning 11, including Best Musical. To educate some of our audience, can you give us a brief introduction about this founding father?
So, I guess perhaps most people just know him as a dude on $10 bill. However, he is more than that. Alexander Hamilton is a crucial character who helps the country gain its independence. As an immigrant and the illegitimate child, Hamilton also came to the country to seek for his American dream. Being born in a poor family, Hamilton worked really hard to get himself to be at the top of the ladder. When he was 14, his mom died from disease. After moving among his relatives, he eventually arrived to New York, which was still a colony of Great Britain at that time. He assisted George Washington, a general of American army, to fight against Great Britain. After the colonies broke away from Great Britain, Hamilton became one of the members who helped founding the new nation. So, this is special about Hamilton. So, unless most of his colleagues, he doesn't have a decent alma mater. So, like most people, they either graduated from Harvard or Yale. And in fact, he gained knowledge through self-learning. In addition, he was an innovative man who thought of ideas that no one really thought of. Therefore, a lot of times his ideas were rejected. For example, people ridiculed him when he proposed to found a national bank for the U.S. So as us, we look back to the history, we can tell that Hamilton did make a lot of right decisions during that time. Hamilton's political life wasn't that pleasant after he had a sex scandal. In the end, he lost his life during a duel with Aaron Burr, one of his major rivals in politics.
And I think the whole show is not just about Hamilton, one character. The overlapping storylines make the whole show presents the characters in different perspectives. There are several storylines going on in this musical. By looking at those stories, it is definitely not something people can learn from their history books. And I would say that by using hip-hop, Lin-Manuel Miranda does make Hamilton stand out from other existing musicals, such as Lion King, Mamma Mia, and Wicked, those kind of classic one. I would say it's a mixture of rap, history, and with some deeper meanings. And Gianna, why do you like Hamilton?
So, as you know, a lot of foreigners come to the U.S. with American dream. As an international student, I totally can relate myself to that. In fact, when we talk about America, we usually think of American dream. I believe that people succeed no matter their origins and races. In recent years, the country has been through so many ups and downs. After experiencing numerous frustrations, the Americans forget the fact that they are the descendants of those strong people who once fought for their independence. In a way, Hamilton inspires people not to give up their dream. Hamilton first came to the country to follow his American dream. He believed that in this place he will be able to achieve his dream and be a great man. Even though he struggled, he eventually became one of the greatest men in American history. As a founding father, Hamilton was also an immigrant of the country. In the US, where a lot of people are immigrants, Hamilton's story encourages them not to give up their American dreams. It also shows people that a small person can do something big in the future. I want to share this song, My Shot, from Hamilton. This song shows people that they will eventually succeed as long as they don't give up. Lily, do you think this is the reason that leads to the success of Hamilton?
American Dream is definitely something makes this musical stand out. I also think that the music and songs in this show have a perfect connections with all the characters. The audience can differentiate each character's personality through their songs. Since each character has their theme songs, it shows their characteristics by their way of rap. And here is a good example. This song is called What I Missed, which is kind of the theme song for Thomas Jefferson as the Secretary of State. Thomas Jefferson has been away from the United States for a long time, so when he came back, a lot of things got changed. That's the reason why he is still singing jazz, but the whole America is singing hip-hop. I also think this show breaks the boundary between the audience and the actors on the stage. The musical relates to many topics we're talking about in our life, such as immigrants. Hey, did you hear about Trump's tweet towards the Hamilton cast?
Hamilton grabbed people's attention during the election of 2016. After President Donald Trump got elected, the cast publicly spoke to the outgoing Vice President Mike Pence, stating that the multiracial and multicultural cast is concerned about Trump administration. Trump asked the cast to apologize to his vice president on Twitter, which started a huge debate of whether we should mix art with politics. Speaking of that, do you think we should relate arts with politics?
In my opinion, I think I would give the credit for Hamilton to talk about politics. I think art is a way for the author to deliver his thoughts and messages. This musical focuses on the story of Alexander Hamilton and the American Revolution, so there's no way of avoiding the topic of politics. One of the main storylines is about the conflict among Hamilton, Aaron Burr, and Thomas Jefferson, which reveals how they negotiated and came up with the final decision of building this new country. On the other hand, Hamilton employs a cast of non-white actors to tell the story of the founding father. Even though it is not the true representation of our founding fathers, it shows what American is nowadays, which is a melting pot. Since Trump's administration is going against the idea of melting pot, Hamilton's cast has their reason to speak up. And the most ironic line in the show is, "Immigrants, we got the job done," which kind of slapping Trump's face.
The Battle of Yorktown, 1781. Monsieur Hamilton.
Monsieur Lafayette.
In command where you belong.
Are you saying no sweat? We're finally on the field. We've had quite a run.
Immigrants, we get the job done.
Along with politics, what do you think are some other deeper meaning that audience can maybe learn from this show?
Well, let me think. When we think about these famous historical figures in the history, we usually only see their accomplishments and their contributions to the society. However, we ignore the fact that they are also human beings who make mistakes, commit sins, and have desire like the rest of us do. Besides giving them credit and praising their achievements, the musical also portrays the dark sides of those people. For example, in this show, we see the conflict among these founding fathers. Many of them claim that they fought against each other for their country, but what they actually wanted is a central power. The show shows that these people also have greed. This musical also discusses jealousy, another common sin for human beings. In the song The Room Where It Happens, it presents Aaron's burst jealousy toward Hamilton since Washington seemed to like Hamilton's idea better. In this case, Burr not only wanted to be better than Hamilton, but he was also desperate for people's approval.
Two Virginians and an immigrant walk into a room diametrically opposed foes. They emerge with a compromise, having opened doors that were previously closed. Rose. The immigrant emerges with unprecedented financial power, a system he can shape however he wants. The Virginians emerge with the nation's capital. And here's the pièce de résistance. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one really knows how the game is played, the art of the trade, how the sausage gets made. We just assume that it happens. No one else is in the room where it happens.
Quoted from what Lin-Manuel Miranda said, there is no saint in this show. We can see that Hamilton wants to show us the life of these great figures without any biases.
This musical also can't avoid talking about the controversial theme in many hearts, which is love. Everybody loves the story about love. There's so many kinds of love in this show. The friendship love between Lafayette and Hamilton, the sister love between Angelica and Eliza, the family love among Eliza, Philip, and Hamilton. To protect his father's reputation, Philip died for his dad. And here, I want to really talk more about Eliza's love towards Hamilton. As we all know, Hamilton cheated on her during their marriage. However, she still wanted to protect his legacy and then destroy the evidence of his love affair. She also becomes the one who writes about Hamilton's stories and contributions towards this country.
I put myself back in the narrative. I stop wasting time on tears. I live another 50 years. It's not enough. I interview every soldier who fought by your side. I try to make sense of your thousands of pages of writings. You really do write. I'm running out of time. I rely on Angelica. While she's alive, we tell your story. She is buried in Trinity Church near you. When I needed her most, she was right on time.
To conclude our podcast, what is the true secret of Hamilton's success?
To be honest, there isn't a right way to answer those questions. In fact, there are many reasons that the show gains its popularity. Hamilton covers many themes, including love and politics. Without all of the elements, Hamilton will not be a complete piece of art. Therefore, I believe that all of these factors lead to the success of Hamilton.
Hope you enjoy this podcast. Thank you so much.